My name is Celine, I'm a digital artist. I have my own small stationery shop, and today is my first monthly reading journal setup video. And this month I've read 5 books spanning over a bit more diverse genres than what I usually try to read, which is really good. You'll see that for yourself in this video, but just before we start, I want to apologize for the missing footage of the atmosphere setup. The video will speak for itself, so let's go. Hello. So here we're starting with my first ever monthly cover page. On the left I have designed like literally the cover page, and on the right there will be a calendar with the data of the books that I've read that month in January. I want to base everything on my own washi tape. You can see there in the center, so that fits in nicely with also the colors of my books that happen to be very blue this month. You can see a sneak peek there on the left of the gold foil sticker of my new washi tape, which is based on poisonous flowers. I hope to show you that soon in a recent vlog. But back to this video. I was inspired by an image I saw on Pinterest, which was like a medieval banner with some nice lettering. So I thought, okay, I can do my own spin on that, which I did. I don't have like a lot of large die cut stickers. I want to build a collection of that so I can make nice cover pages, but essentially I just need 12 nice cover stickers for the 12 months in a year. So I think that's why I feel like this cover page works, because I have some nice cute little drawings on it, but the sticker really adds that cohesion and that oomph and takes in more space, because now I have to fill up the white space with the craft paper and some other stickers. But it works, it looks nice the way it does right now, so no complaints from me here. Using a large sticker for the February cover spread. I'll see how that turns out. So overall I'm not too unhappy how this all turned out. This paper of my Archer and Olive journal doesn't work that well with the Faber-Castell erasable pencils that I have, which is a bummer. So shading is very hard, but it works. And there I'm just cleaning up my washi tape, cutting the top and the bottom parts. And I think it's nice to have a little short and sweet summary of how my reading month was. So that's the blue text you see at the bottom of the cover page. It's also the first time, many first times this month, where I'm creating a little calendar. And to be honest, I'm not sure how I feel about that. I see a lot of creatives using that in their journals, and I think I just have to make some adaptations to make it work for me. Like for example, I'm not sure if I like the abbreviations of the weekdays. Maybe just write the first letter, because it can get too cluttered. And also I created this at the end of January. Again, some creatives do that, but I think what works for me is that I create this spread, at least on the right, beforehand, and fill it out as I read, because now it feels like I just have to dump the data there in one go, as you can see me doing here, instead of like kind of evaluating throughout a month, fill out the data when I've read a certain book. And with data I mean just the bar that you see me coloring there when I finish a book, instead of doing it in one go. Because that way I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's doing anything for me. I'm just not making use of it. And putting this much time into this chart, this calendar, and feeling kind of mad about this is not something I want to. So for next month I'll create it beforehand, and you won't see me coloring in the the books that I've read in the calendar, but you'll see the creation process, at least, of the calendar, so that's something. I use some stamps to create the titles. I feel like this is a nice way to summarize all my reading info of the month, like with the stats and books read. So I don't know, maybe just the way I approached the calendar didn't feel right to me this month. And I also like on the right the little book covers that I printed, very cute. When I pressed record, I just started my thing, but the focus was off, so I'm so sorry. It's all blurry, but here is my review. Don't look at the text. So that was Atmosphere, and I'm sad that I wasn't able to film that process, but at least you can stare at it right now as a page. And Truthwitch, I am using and abusing my own washi tape again. And what helps a lot this month is that the book covers tend to have the same color scheme or color palette, lots of blues, and that way I can easily make the pages match each other, which is actually not the goal. The goal is to write and create a nice reading journal page in itself, but if the two pages tend to match, then I'm very happy with that coincidence. Using little swirly drawings to make the page look more magical. At least I tried. And I really like how these two pages turned out. The lettering is nice and the colors work. Not every reading journal page looks like this. And I've seen other creatives creating like a real, using tip-ins and creating like a whole pop-up page, almost as in a pop-up book of their spread. And although I like that, this is already taking a lot of time, so that might not be my approach to creating a reading journal page. I like to stick to scrapbooking. And me being ever indecisive about my sticker placement and stickers. And I figured, okay, sometimes too much is too much. Let's just stick to the basics. And at the top I thought it was a bit too empty, so I'm using some swirly doodles again to trying to save the page, or it looks okay, I think. We used to live here, and on the right there'll be the page of the library at Mount Char. Two weird books that fit each other, that have a similar vibe. Although We Used to Live Here is more in your face, and We Used to Live Here was such a fun read. I enjoyed myself a lot. I didn't expect what's happened. And I know it's been the creator, the writer Marcus Kleber. He used to write the story The No Sleep Reddit, if I got this correctly. And people have been theorizing a lot, and now he put it in a book. That is really, really cool. And if this info is still correct, he aimed to create like a sort of trilogy, or 3 stories that are kind of in the same universe. His next book, The Caretaker, will be out in April. And I look very much forward to picking that one up. Oh, and back to another, the Destined Road. So I believe the library in Mount Char will be towards the end. And Destined Road, that's a book of an indie author, Jess Testa, and Jess commissioned me to draw a character, the main character of her book, Tagwan Braith. And I had the honor to draw her and had a great time. And it's really cool that
when you create character art for a book, I just imagine her, like, especially in my style, going through the motions of the book. So I think that's very special, and I had a blast reading it. The prose in this book, if you like pretty lyrical writing and you like Lord of the Rings, this is your next read, I can assure you. It started off a bit slow, but towards the middle, the plot came together and we could see what the stakes were and what role Tagon played into the bigger picture. And I can't really imagine how the book will move forward. There were some little twists and developments which are really cool, and there are elves in this world. And all in all, just a good time. And I played around with the pink, as the character that I painted, Tagon, also has pinks in her outfit, and the tape has like lilac tones, but just pretend it's also pink. And the snowdrop flower, which is very important to the character's sword. Add more swirly doodly doos. When you don't know what to draw, just draw swirly vines and it'll save your day. Me pumping up more ink in my fountain pen. And it's nice. I do miss having multiple pages or 2 pages for a book that I've read. I don't know why I just did lots of 1-page spreads. But for sure in February I will create more multiple page spreads. And back with the library at Mount Char. This book also was very, very unique in its execution, in the world building. It's a contemporary fantasy book with horror elements, like violence is being depicted very, very raw. There's lots of child abuse and intense gore. Yes, I could say that, intense gore. So if you are not able to stomach that, this book is not for you. But I enjoyed myself so much. I didn't expect the way the book planned out, and I loved how the main character, Carolyn, was so crafty. And I can't say too much because that'll ruin the book. Because this is also a book that you better go in without knowing anything. At least I can tell you this much, is that it's about abducted children in the 70s, and right now in the book the people are like in the mid-30s-ish, and they have all knowledge and powers in 12 distinct areas called catalogs, and Father, which is like sort of entity, I think, who knows, has abducted them and forced them to train, and he's very, very not kind in his training. Let's keep it at that. Oh, me drinking tea. Also not important, and I'm going to pour myself some tea here as well with my thermos. Some tea ASMR. And things go from there. So the children have like traumatized childhoods, to say the least. And that's it for the voiceover. Now back to real-time me going over my yearly stats and trackers with you.
Hello, welcome to this section of this monthly reading journal video. I'm going to tackle all the trackers and challenges I have. But first we have to set up the legend for this month, and I am going to do everything with acrylic paint because we can have access to many colors that way. And I am going to mix, I think I'm going for like a teal kind of color for January. In my reading journal I have, oh that's a lot of yellow, that might be a bit more green. But in my reading journal I have this legend, and for certain trackers and challenges I want to track things by month, and I only have just a couple of Tombow markers. So I thought, okay, why not use paint instead? There we go. See what kind of color we can create with this. Oh, love me this muddy teal. Muddy in all the best ways. That's actually a bit more green right now. I like it still, maybe a bit more blue. And I'm always using way too much paint for this, but it's fine. I'll make it work and I'll just roll with whatever. I think everyone watching this is like, girl, RIP to your paint. And yes, that is true. That is very true. We don't do things in moderation when it comes to paints. And I have this hot air, or this air gun. I keep calling it hot air, but it's just an air gun. Oh, that's barely noticeable. But we have our paints. And I have this hot air gun thingy here. That way, because I think we have to paint quite a lot and have to ride on top of the paints. It'll go away quicker. So I'm going to just plug it in. Okay, the gun is plugged in. Now we can try to paint. And then I'm going to turn. Oh dang. Oh, it's going alright. I didn't expect the noise to be so loud. It's pretty much dry. Just the way we like our paint. Okay. So this will be a color for January. It's this nice, soft, I think it also has this vintage muted look, which I like. So we carry on. Cover page. And reread $5. I think I might go for like a smaller paintbrush, but it works. I don't know how to describe this color. It's like, not aqua, but when it dries, it has this green undertone. Okay. So for my reading intentions or challenges here, on to the right. What can we write? I haven't finished any series, I haven't read any classics. I hope to do that in February or March for sure. Literal fiction, Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Fits this bill. Horror, I want to write down. Let's take a look. We used to live here. I think it's a very strong contender for that spot science fiction. Still empty, so let's go. I didn't expect my heat gun to make that much noise, so that was a surprise. Yes. So I think that's it. Read 50%, read 50% of the physical shelf. Nowhere near that. 50 books, or 8 times bingo. Still got a whole year to go. And I'll let you enjoy, in a soft way, my air gun, heat gun ASMR. Awesome, I think that'll do it. And then this one, maybe a little more precise brush. So this is my shelfie, as you can see right here. I drew everything myself, the bookshelf at least. The rest is either tape, washi tape, paper, or sticker. Or did I use a sticker? No, I didn't. This is also washi tape, part of washi tape. Okay, this is where the glue gun is very handy for a larger surface than a square. Let me see how we want to tackle this. I think to make this book a bit more like it's leaning. Try to get the painting done. And I like to spread it out a bit, so it's not looking that empty here and there. I might go on top of it with a second layer of paint to get rid of that white shining through of the paper. One more to go. Now let's see if we can make all these colors match each other with the red and the blacks I have for this page. We'll see, but I think this looks colorful and quite peaceful. This color, like that. The gun again for good measure. Well, that's quite a powerful tool, I have to say, but it definitely works. I have this dark blue pen, which I think fits nicely. Let me open up my story graph, which I should have done before. Oops. Okay, great. I have the page, I have this nice dark blue fine liner. And let me take a sip of water. When I do these challenges or when I work on my reading journal, I always forget to drink properly, so a reminder to you as well. Okay, let me do the easy things first. Books with the bigger, larger titles, get the thickest books. I think this is a nice one for Truthwitch, and Truthwitch was young adult fantasy. Let me see if we can fit it. And the little flower. There we go, the first book. The next one, Atmosphere. Here, which was Litvic, which gets a moon sign. We used to live here. That's a thick book. Gets this, and I just classified as horror, which is an hourglass sign. There we go. And furthermore, Destined Road, which was fantasy. It fits. And the library at Mount Char, which I also classify as, well, it's like fantasy horror, so let's do both signs. And that's all of them. And our cute little shelfie. Well, that went quite quicker than I thought. All thanks to our little heat gun here. Let's move on. Oh, filling this out. Okay, I'll just go through this because this is not that super exciting to watch, I think. But this is my little glossary of all the books that I've read and the corresponding info. I'll write with white gel pen and my Char black and gold fountain pen ink. There's not much else I have to say about this page other than I should have tackled this. I shouldn't have done these alternating colors. It has way too much contrast and it's quite busy on the eyes. But lesson learned, as I like to experiment with my reading journal. That's our books read for this month. 5 books. I think the ratings are very solid, with the lowest one being a 3.75. So all in all, a good time. And I have space for more books here. And I can always create a tip-in if I'd like. Media consumed and games. Well, I definitely should keep closer tabs on this page because I didn't. Let me open up my Steam page. Yes, I got the game, which also was on my 26 and 26 list. Let me see. Town to City. Let me see. Let's just write it down as our first date, bought 30 December last year, which is weird to say, but about a month ago. And the jury's still out. I still need to play more. I have like almost 4 hours into it, and it isn't a big of a game. It's like a town building decoration game where you have to fulfill the needs of the town and your villagers, and some people want a house with like lights or flowers, and you can add that onto the house that you've built for them and such. That's the gist of it, and the graphics are hella cute. So far, I'm enjoying it, and I want to play again. Series. This one's also tough to keep track of. I've watched Adolescence, which was a very touching series. Wacom Paraguay, about kind of right-winged people who are escaping the Netherlands to go live in Paraguay. And what else? Definitely should keep better track of this. Let me look. I watched Ponies. Like yesterday we finished Ponies, me and my boyfriend. So I think I'm just going to put that third series. And Ponies was so fun.
Some plot points were like very far-fetched when they have to sneak in somewhere, and the Ponies is about the Cold War in the 70s, the KGB and Russia, and these two young ladies are going to infiltrate for the CIA and gather information, and they get entangled in all kinds of things. I definitely rate this all the plot points. I enjoyed the characters a lot. It was like comedy, but also a thriller. I think a 4.5. 4 out of 5 is very fair. And this I rate just vibes. Like I'm writing it down in 2 different formats. I like this more, but this is shorter and cleaner, so do it like this. For movies, I watched Coherence, which was a really great science fiction movie. It was made with a $50,000 budget, which is like nothing actually. And the actors also even improvised. Definitely very solid for what it is. And my series tracker, and I hope we can get to some more painting soon, because the paint, I think it will dry, or it won't dry, but let's continue. This is my series tracker. Let me see, I've started the Witchland series, so working from right to left, and here's my little legend. We've read the first book into the Witchland series, and maybe next time I want to write like a name of the series, but I actually am like engaged with a lot of series, so that would be a lot of space, a lot of depends, but who knows. Let's see if this works right now for me. But thing is that I don't know which book is which, basically, because I have no space to fill out the numbers. Maybe we can do it at the top, like so. Not sure if this is too busy, but oh well. We are committing. So the Witchlands we've read. I'm currently rereading Ninth Reign. Not finished with it yet. As for the rest, I did start The Instruments of Fate by Chess Testa. So I'll write that here. But I'm not sure how many books that series will get. The Instruments of Fate. I think we're going to work from left to right here. I think that's easier, because of these series, I think all of them, except the Murderable Diaries, I think there will be more. All of these are like finished. So I know, except the Legendborn, I think that'll be a 5th book. Right to left it is. And I know Jess has a 2nd book that will come out very soon. So we can close this box. So that's the start. Like that. And let's fill out which books I've read before, which I kind of forgot to do. So, as I mentioned just now, I finished Winnowing Flame. I called it the Ninth Reign, but I think the series is called Winnowing Flame. And I'm going to read the first book, The Daughter of Smoke and Bone, which is actually a reread, but it's been so long, counting as a new book. I've read the first in the Xenogenesis series by Octavia E. Butler, which is a genius and very horrifying book. I am a serial series starter. Need to get better at finishing them, but there's just so many books to read. Shadow of Leviathan I also read. And that is our little start of the year with our series tracker. I think it looks neat, and there's enough space for more series. And on to our book Bingo, which is a lot of fun. I pre-printed a few squares. Let me take a look. I'm going to take out also a couple of other stickers that we're going to use today. So I really like this pocket, so I can store here all my little book stickers that I've pre-printed. Okay, so I have this rule.
I can have a maximum of 6 books. I can have 2 prompts, and the total bingo is gone there. And I already have this for the pet eater in case I read it next month and reread. And here are my prompts. And this book bingo is set up, is designed by Amanda Maid, where you can have your prompts and your bingo board and some coordinates. You will fill those out randomly and then you cover it up. I covered up with washi tape, as that's easy to remove. So that way you can't really cheat the game. You just have to read and see what happens. So I have atmosphere for queer rap and book talk fave there on this page. So let's do that one by one. Or maybe I was thinking I also want to read Song of Achilles. That also has a great queer rap. I think I want to save it though, so I'm just going to use Book Talk Fave for Atmosphere, or Book Talk and Booktube, by the way, both. And that has the following coordinates. Let me see if I can peel this off. It's very, very tight. Oh no, oh help. It's coordinates 5E. Woo! 5E, which is here. So how I created these little squares, I have access to Photoshop, and I take out the measurements, which is 2.5 centimeters by 2.5. Take the book cover, put it in the center, then copy and paste the same book cover, center it, or take out the spot that I like, and blur the background. And that's how we can get these little squares. So our first little bingo square. How cool. But what I like is maybe adding a small spot for space to write a book. I think I'll just write it down there. Maybe in brown. It's a bit busy, but you know what? I don't care. It's nice to be able to reference it, because I probably will forget the coordinates. It's easy to backtrack, but still. And small press. Where are you, small press? Press here for Jess Destined Road, and Jess commissioned me to draw the main character, Tiger Wraith, which is really, really cool. So of course I was curious to check out her book, and it delivered. The prose was amazeballs, so she definitely deserves a spot here. And what's beneath this square is this washi tape is so solid. It's from MT, which is the original washi tape brand, and they certainly stick 3C for the Destined Road here. So we're getting somewhere, and I think this challenge is so cool. Like, look, we just have 2 squares, but I'm already so excited. Now when we get a bingo, I can get a free book. Or not a free, I have to pay it myself, but I can get a book. Let's just quickly get through this, but you get the gist right now. Ooh, 5C. Getting out of squares close to each other. Like bingo like this and a bingo this way. And something for 2 prompts is 1 word: title, Truthwitch, and Battle for the Throne. Okay, so the washi tape used is a bit too good. 3. Oh, lots of 5s here. I think that's currently it for our book bingo, and I like to just clean it up a bit here. Square, so it's nicely filled out. Nothing to see. And our little book bingo is coming to life. Look how cute. I'm thinking we can definitely get a couple of nice bingos out of this. So that's really cool. Yeah, on to the next one. This is space for fantasy, Reddit Fantasy Bingo, which is the yearly bingo challenge. It starts in April, so that's why it's still empty. and our 26 and 26. See if this gold color is easy to see. I think I'd rather color it with my fountain pen. So this is a 4-star read. On top of my head, I'm not sure how many we already have hit. I don't think that many in our list within this month. No, this is our first one. Starting slow but steady with our first book. And I think next month I want to read Song of Achilles. I want to make more progression with Down to City. Maybe read Wild Reverence, or that might be a bit too much romance in a month. Who knows? And I think Bat Eater as well. That'll be a nice read. So that's our first little book. And maybe next I'll fill out later a bit more in my own time to save you some time right now. But I fill out here books that I am very much interested in picking up sometime this year or whenever. And I note them down in the story graph and then take them over into this reading journal. And the books that I'm definitely anticipating are... Oh wait, I can fill some out. I can fill out Louise Olivier. Maybe some other. But the book that I'm anticipating are Half His Age by Jeanette McCurdy, as I read her memoir last year and fell in love with her writing. Paranesi and Blood Over Bright Haven. But Louise Olivier, I read that in 16 January. So that's a very good job of us. For the rest, none. Oh, this I'll save for another day. Goobers Patisserie. I'll just put that right in between here. Hello, it's time we film the Goobers Patisserie. And I already pre-mixed the colors, so you don't have to sit through that. So Goobers Patisserie is Jessie Corinne's reading challenge for the year. We basically choose from different kinds of pastries, from breads, sweets, and every month it has 2 prompts. You can either choose to do one or both, and I chose sourdough, which is the first book in the series. So we're going to draw that. I'm just going to draw a large loaf of bread. I've taken a reference image from Pinterest or Google, and I'm just going to basically mimic that as best as I can. I'm starting here with just this color. This will be the color of the inside of the bread. It's a bit darker than I'd like. Lighten it up. We got the base done. I feel like it's still too dark. Okay, I am not sure how I'm going to do shading. I just need to blend some more paints. A little bit of color is already almost too much. Something like this. Maybe I can paint some of the little bubbles on the inside. I think I have to go over with some more whites, lighter color soon. Looks a bit weird, but trust me, it's supposed to be bread. Sourdough has many imperfections on the surface. I think this doesn't look too bad, it's just that color mixing is very tricky. I wouldn't call it cheating, but I can go over it, make it mixed media, something of it instead. Like adding some orange tones for warmth. I think that already helps it if you can look at it in real life like I am. It looks a bit weird, but just trust me that it's supposed to be sourdough. Yeah, I think I should call it quits. I don't think I can fix it anymore. This was really tough. I think I started off well, but then I went a bit too dark in here. And now this doesn't read as light as it's supposed to be. And now for our monthly book sticker. Truthwitch by Suzanne Bernard, which is young adult. It's a bit on the other side of young adult. You could almost say new adult. A fancy book about witches with different kinds of powers. We follow two girls who each have a very unique power, and they get swept up in adventures. That's really fun so far, and I'm enjoying myself a lot. I look forward to continuing this series, so this book definitely gets a spot here. And I suppose that's it. That is supposed to be a sourdough loaf for our Year of Goober Goobers Patisserie challenge for January. And let me just remove this. I just have the sticky note of the dates that I bought certain books on Vinted or another way. So books acquired. Okay, so this month I got a lot of books, and I want to show you that I've set this rule in stone: 5 books a month max. Book boxes don't count, but bingos can add bonus books. Sold 1 book, then I get a new one. Maybe ignore the bottom rule. But yeah, I just want to build up a little library. I think allowing myself is a neat way to do that. But I got 6 books this month, and I unhauled 1, but just ignore that rule. I'll tape it out. I'll have to edit. It's Intercepts by Tom Payne, I think. But it's a horror book. I got it from Vinted, which is a second-hand site. So next month I'll get... I don't think I aim to get many books, because I just want to focus on reading. And I think I want to score like 1 or 2 classics. Like those small penguin classics, maybe second-hand. Or get ebooks from those. Maybe ebooks. And if I like the classic, I'll get it later in a physical form. But the book that I hauled this month extra was Poet Empress, but I definitely need to write that down in case I forget to add it. There's also Vinted the Illumicrate edition, because that one was too pretty to not get, and I scored it for like a decent price, like 40 euros. I thought that was a very solid deal. And then Intercepts, which I can't sadly pinpoint the purchasing date. And then Children of Time, then Library at Mount Char, which is I think like this. Then this came in, and then I have space for the Poet Empress. The joke's on me. This one needs to be switched around. This doesn't make sense. I think I got it around the same time, so let's say 4. And that's it for the tomes acquired. Let me see if I can check some books off. Got this one in my wish list. And I think that's it right now. This one's fun. It's my alphabet challenge. I don't take into account articles, and I can basically go ham with every book, because this month I can fill out every book, which is very, very neat. And I'm not sure if I am able to read a book with the X or a C, but I can try for that. Next time I definitely will make the letters smaller and make the covers bigger to let it speak for itself, because I didn't really measure anything, but it's fine. I like the way it looks. But this one is a bit tight. It is what it is. DNF Graveyard. Nothing but Forgotten Spells. I sold Atmosphere 2 weeks ago. So let's say the 19th, because I forgot to note it down. Reason, well, I'm not really planning to reread it, so no rereads. And that's it. And favorite charms, maybe I'll have to go back later, see if I can find any fun or memorable quotes from the books that I've read. And release radar. Not sure if there are any differences with it right now, the radar right now, and the radar in my little flip through video, but I'll update this when there's more known later in the year. And then Read the Rainbow. Well, there were a lot of blue covers in January, so I think despite me selling the book, I like to give Atmosphere a little spot in my reading journal through this challenge. There we go, the book is now immortalized. Here, we can go on to the stats and trackers. Then we go painting again. So I definitely looked forward to this part. I think, let me see if we have to paint some more. Tad more. So I skipped toward those spreads after this one. But the funny thing about my genre tracker is that I am also going to write the book number and also color in all the genres that are applicable for a certain book. So starting with Atmosphere, which is historical fiction, but also LGBTQ plus fiction. Truthwitch, which was young adults, also fantasy. I feel like We Used to Live Here is horror, and it also has LGBTQ plus elements, but I feel like that's less on the forefront than that is in We Used to Live Here, so that's why I don't put it in there. Or like, that's not, I still feel like horror mystery for We Used to Live Here. And the Destined Road is definitely just fantasy. And then we have the Library on Char, which is also fantasy and horror. Heat gun. And let's write down the numbers. Atmosphere. Ta-da! So let's paint some more. And I like the way this is done. I think it will be very colorful and I can still backtrack the genres and subgenres of the books. So this I'll also fill out in another later video, or a section of this video I should say. I want to paint. This is also very fun. I'm going to color the corresponding month color with the publication date. So Atmosphere and Truthwitch in here. And We Used to Live Here, which is also quite a recent release. And another one, The Destined Road. Library at Mount Char and 215. Just on the brink. And that's it for all our painting. So let's go back. Just before I wanted to take a break, I thought, okay, why not just make these thumbs and pages, color the month with the corresponding paint color. And luckily I have not yet thrown away this paint, so we can use it. In the end, this will look very, very colorful, which is lovely. So that's the first bar for January. 5 books. And I assume the rest of the year will be looking like similar. I think 4 to 6 books, somewhere in between that. So like 12 is, I don't know what happened that month in my life, but that must have been quite something to reach that number. And let's see what kind of color for our lines, maybe something like gold. And I've read 18 pages in January. I think I'm supposed to start like here. I think we'll start just in the center. A ruler for February and then go towards that dot and so on and so forth. So we have 2 graphs in one. How neat. Okay, then I'm going to take out all my Tombow markers and tackle this beast of a page, which is reading in pixels. And I used Storygraph app to track my reading, and silly me, every time I read a little bit, I track it. So I need to add up a lot of pages. So let's see. Oh wait, starting off strong and wrong because I didn't read anything on the first. This should be 0. I hope that is more than clear what it should be. Okay, 0. I want to add a little legend. So when I finish a book, it gets a little moon sign and I start a little star sign. And that's a reading every day, reading in pixels. And I added this little legend, a moon for finish and star for start. And what I've noticed so far, I had a really good reading day. Halfway through with 169 pages, which is a lot. And I really have to take time to dive into a book. Like when I start a book, I just read a couple of pages because I can't get into it, I don't feel like it. And I think I want to try coming month to make time to really get a chunk out of the book in the first day and see how I feel about it. Maybe that way I can get more consistent instead of reading just a couple of pages. But you know how life can be. We can't have everything, but I still like how everything looks. We don't have too many 0 to 25 pages a day days. So I think it has been a really good reading month. Now I can fill out the stats for January with my Zebra pen. Books read. 5 books going steady. Pages 19, 18. And I think I should use a different color pen. I think it was more purplish like here. Average page per book. I know it is really quite fair, but I take the pages read and just divide it by the books I've read. Just to give an idea. 384. Average pages per day. 62. Rounding up. Unhauled. Just 1. New. 6. That's quite a lot. DNF. 0. Just how we like it. 5 stars. 0. Bingo. How many have we on our bingo? 5. And for TBR, I think just a single book. I think indeed just the Truthwitch. This I'll fill out in a bit. No, just 1. So that's a January year at a glance stats. And monthly favorites, definitely We Used to Live Here. I love the feeling of like liminal space and being basically pushed away from your own reality and dealing with that and the weirdness of it all. This book embraced that, and I love so much that it still lacked that quick bit of oomph, and not all my questions are answered, so that's why it's not a 5 star, but a 4.75, which is still really good. So I'm curious to see what other books will live in this space during the year, but starting off very strong. And the Hall of Fame, well, we'll get to that at the end of the year. 5 star shrine, sadly nothing yet. And star ratings. Okay, so obviously with not a colored space, means that I haven't read a book with that similar rating. Will I rate up, or will I round it up or down? Depends on how I feel about the book. 4.75, which will be rounded down. I have two books that are rounded down to 4.5. Yeah, that seems fair, because like Library at Mount Char was a 4 point. What were you? 4.25, but to bump it up, I don't think it's quite a 4. It's a 4.5. And We Used to Live Here isn't quite as perfect for a 5-star, so just meeting them in the middle. I think for Truthwitch and Atmosphere, I'll just stick it to a 4. So that's also 2 more books in this space. That's neat, that's quite a high score. And another book, The Destined Road, I'll just round down to a 3.5. That's this brown color. So far, so good, I think. So that's quite a high rating for multiple books, like being in the upper tiers. Very neat. And we are here at Tomes and Pages and publishing date. I already did this just a while ago. This as well. So we're reading quite into the recent years. And maybe February will change that. Depends if we read a classic or not. And then last page, or one of the last pages, are owned grimoires. And the only book that I've read was Truthwitch. And I don't think I'll write a rating down here. Should I? Maybe later, but this is just to track what I've read. Yeah, I've got my work cut out, as you can see. I need to read a lot still, and I'll get to it. So this page is the illustrations I've made this year. I still need to come up with a design for it. A yearly wrap-up. And our winter TBR, and we've read quite a few. So let's color it in. Truthwitch got a 4.25 star. Atmosphere got a 4 star. I said I read quite a bit, but that ain't true. It's just 2 books, but 2 is better than nothing, right? So this is not a strict TBR list, it's just like an inspiration. Oh wait, I forgot this one. Destined Road. So just a like inspiration list that I tackled some books of my physical TBR and some books I look forward to. Going a bit on 5, 3.75. It's not super clear, but at least I know it, so 3. So I think that's way better. What about my fun activities? Well, I have a dinner date set up. I'm going to meet one of my girlfriends. I am going to take a massage soon, as my boyfriend gifted me a coupon for it. This I'm working on, and still working on this. Read 5 books from physical TBR. So coming month, I need to make a good dent into that. And I suppose that's it for my stats and trackers. I'll do a quick flip through our spreads of January. And here is a short flip through of all the January spreads I've made. Cover page and a little calendar. Other books I've read. And some stats. Atmosphere and Truthwitch. 2 pages that I really like. We Used to Live Here and The Library of Mount Char, both weird books, so it's pretty cool that they're both on the same page. And I kind of like the space. I wanted to write more for this book, same for We Used to Live Here, so next time I'll just own the space. And The Destined Road by Jess Testa, which I created this painting for. If you can see it here, and I'll put it here on the screen. It was fun to draw all these little elements, and I'll definitely try to draw more, as it offers me a lot of variety and I don't have that much stationery. It's nice we have that option to draw. That's it. Thank you for sitting through the very long yearly stats. I'll try to trim it down next time, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless and maybe got some inspiration for your own reading journal or other fun books to read. I hope to see you next one. I'll put on the screen a video you probably would like to watch next from me. I look forward to see you in the next vlog or reading journal video. Bye bye. Take care.